3 seconds. Bogey for the win! Bogdanovich! If you don't like that, you don't like Kings basketball. Oh, boy!
Welcome back to the F-Town Pod. Today we're going to be discussing NFL content mostly with fantasy, NFL predictions, Super Bowl predictions, and our 49ers as well. So first we're going to talk about fantasy. So, NFL season's been starting soon. We're doing a lot of fantasy drafts. So I'm just wondering who is on your do not draft list so far?
My do not draft list. Well, I got our favorites in Travis Etienne
God.
Jr. and of course DeAndre Swift. Our two favorite running backs are absolutely on my do not draft list. I can't really say I was gonna say Aaron Jones Sr., but then I drafted him, so kind of would be breaking my own word there. Those are my main guys. You got anybody else on your do not draft list?
I agree with Travis Etienne. I think the Jaguars backfield, they got Etienne, everyone's favorite running back, Tank Bigsby. They drafted a rookie. So they got 3 running backs. I don't know what's going to happen. So I definitely agree with Etienne.
Yeah.
I don't know, Swift. I kind of maybe a little crazy, but I kind of like DeAndre Swift this year.
Yeah.
Ben Johnson's new coach could turn into a good player again. But my do not draft list, I would say Cooper Kupp. I'm not a fan of Cooper Kupp at all. He's burned me in the past. I think I took him first round one of the years he got injured in training camp. So ever since then, I just think it's past his prime, new team. I just don't think he's going to have it in him.
Yeah, not certainly someone you'd take, at least at his ADP. If he's there later in the draft, maybe you could take him. I'd also say any of the guys on the Saints, Olave and I guess Rashid Shaheed, I suppose. But
I just took him in our draft.
You took him down.
Yeah. Kamara. Kamara. Kamara is one of the persons I do not want to draft because their offense is going to be so bad. They're hardly going to run the ball. I don't even know who their quarterback's going to be. Probably Rattler. He's terrible.
Yeah, they got him stuck right next, just right after. I got him down right after Kyron and Breece Hall and next to James Cook. I don't think he's on that same level anymore. He's always been a good player, but I think just with that offense right now, can't really expect much out of anybody.
Yeah, I would say he's probably lower than James Cook.
Yeah,
he's more in that Kenneth Walker tier to me now.
Yeah,
just because their offense is so bad. So I would definitely stay away from him.
Yeah.
Another do not draft guy. Your favorite, Michael Pittman.
Oh, yes. Michael Pittman. Dude, where I got him on this list?
All the way at the bottom.
46. That can't be right.
It's a little too high.
He's almost right next to Ayuk up there. Same thing like the Saints. You just it's just the team that's bad, so everyone else is just gonna play bad. So it's just kind of is what it is.
Yeah, Daniel Jones, that whole thing with him and Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson is probably going to be like Trey Lance, highly drafted guy, not really, just really athletic, but doesn't have the IQ to play quarterback.
I don't know. Am I still crazy for saying I believe in Trey Lance?
You are crazy.
Trey area, man, come on.
As we are recording today, the Niners are playing the Chargers in preseason.
Yeah, I think he's gonna carve him up. I can't lie. He's kind of a preseason demon, but I still think Trey Lance. I think he still has a spot in this league.
I'm completely out on Trey Lance. I've seen enough. I just think he's just going to be one of those guys who's really athletic, didn't hit their potential, which is that's going to be Anthony Richardson, unless he goes to a new team, which I feel like he will. Moving on to some fantasy sleepers. Do you have any sleepers on your list?
Yeah, I say I'm pretty. I don't know if these count as sleepers, but I'm pretty high on rookies this year. Not, oh, actually, I don't know why I'm really high on rookies, like compared to last year. I mean, I've drafted 4 rookie running backs across 2 leagues this season, so I mean, I'd say like I think this year for fantasy, I feel like people are more like focused on sleepers and more hopeful for like players who have never like either rookies or guys that just have never produced before.
Yeah.
And I think people are more just like kind of just trying to buy in on someone who maybe could break out, but um, who knows? So I feel like that's kind of the trend this year.
I think I've
Even
drafted like Amari and Hampton in 2 of my leagues. Very high on Hampton.
yeah, shit, I can't really think of too many sleepers right now.
I got one in mind. I got Jacoby
one.
Myers. I'm a big
Yeah,
fan of Jacoby Myers.
yeah,
Even not even this year, but in the past years, I think he's the Raiders wide receiver one. I know they have Brock Bowers. He's not the top receiving option, but he is the wide receiver one.
yeah,
And they've definitely upgraded at quarterback going from Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell to Geno Smith, who is a good quarterback. He throws the ball a lot
yeah.
and definitely can get Jacoby Myers the ball. So I think Jacoby Myers will be, I think he's drafted like, his ADP is not that high. It's like round 7, round 8, round 9.
Yeah, I got him at like 36 receiver. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely a good value pick. And I think that offense could be, really have a lot of sparks this season. I think they could be pretty high scoring.
Yeah. The GT. I just, yeah, what you're saying about drafting more rookies this year, I think the rookie running back class is a lot more talented than it has been before.
Yeah,
Like Ashton GT, Amari and Hampton, RJ Harvey, those are all really good running backs, which I've drafted. I've tried to draft at least one of them in each of my leagues,
yeah,
especially RJ Harvey. I'm a big believer in him.
yeah. I think a lot of them, might be seeing kind of RB1 touches this year. So I think it's kind of a not like a coincidence, but like a year where maybe there's a lot of running back rooms that really aren't too solidified, like Broncos or Cowboys or Chargers. So rooms like that where rookie could take over versus a veteran back that's there.
Do you have any busts this year that people are drafting too high that you don't think will perform as well as they're drafted?
I think T Higgins. I've drafted him several times in prior years, um, and he's just too much of a boomer bust player. And he can give you 25 points one week, and the next week he gives you 0.
Yeah.
So I think he's a great player. He's tall, athletic, and of course plays with maybe the best passing QB right now. So, but just for some reason, he just isn't consistent. And I think I got him at 15 for receivers here. So
Wow.
I think that's just a little too high. I think I'd rather take guys like Mike Evans, DJ Moore, Marvin Harrison. I'd rather take guys like that over him.
Marvin Harrison, I would, but DJ Moore, I would not.
I feel like this is kind of a trend that people maybe aren't as high on Amon-Ra St. Brown this year. I think he's like, I guess you can call him consistent, but like to putting him as like a top 5, 6 receiver, it just kind of like I feel like that it's not where he's at anymore. I think I'd more put him at around. I'd even put him after Nico Collins, after Brian Thomas Jr., and I guess I still put him ahead of like Drake London, but I'm not too high on him anymore.
No, I think about Amon-Ra. He's very, like I said, consistently gets like 18 points a game, which is good. He's a really high floor. But in fantasy, you want that high ceiling, like a Ja'Marr Chase or Nico Collins, who could explode for 30, 40 points, but then next game will get like 10 points. But that's just how fantasy is. You want to take risks. And with Amon-Ra, that's like, I think it's a boring pick. I know he's a good player, going to get you the points, but it's a little boring.
Yeah, I think boring is definitely the right word for that.
Yeah,
it's not as flashy or maybe exciting as the potential of Brian Thomas Jr., Puka, Neighbors, all those guys. I think that are around the same draft position are all more just guys that could really be top 3 receivers this year.
Yeah, and it's just Jared Goff. Always been a big Jared Goff hater. I know I don't like Jared Goff. I don't think he's good. I think he's overrated.
Interesting. Just, I like Jared Goff. I think he's a solid QB. I don't think he's a championship winning QB, no. But I think he's a solid QB who's made a couple playoff runs, but it is serviceable for your fantasy receivers. But yeah,
is he worth $40 million a year? No, but it's just the situation the Lions are in.
I guess in the current quarterback market, that's kind of like,
I guess,
like, okay, this like pretty, that might even be underpaid, honestly.
Yeah, he's just like a bigger Jimmy G. He's 6'5". He does the same thing. He's a good game manager. He can't move. He can throw the ball, but it's just what he reminds me of.
He's maybe like Jimmy G, but he doesn't get as nervous in the pocket, I guess. Oh man, still my favorite Niner though.
Still your favorite Niner, Jimmy G.
Still my favorite Niner, Jimmy G, man. Me and my dad had faith in Jimmy G, man. We loved that guy.
You sound just like my dad. My dad was the biggest Jimmy G stan. I never understood. He actually has a Jimmy G Raiders jersey.
Jimmy G Raiders.
I don't know why he has that, but he has a Jimmy G Raiders jersey. Moving on to our NFL award predictions. I'll start with my predictions. For MVP, I got Joe Burrow. I think it all depends on if the Bengals are actually good. If they go like 10-7 to 11-6, I feel like he has a good shot of winning because he's going to put up really good numbers. He's going to carry the team like he did last year. For Offensive Player of the Year, I have Jahmyr Gibbs. It's just getting better and better each year. I feel like this is the year they're going to just give him more of the touches. Montgomery and him, it's like 50-50, 60-40. I think this year will be 70-30. Defensive Player of the Year, I have Max Crosby. I think he's going to have close to 20 sacks this year. Offensive Rookie of the Year, I have Ted McMillan from the Panthers. I think he's going to be the Panthers wide receiver 1 out the gate. He's really tall, like a Mike Evans type alpha receiver. So I think Bryce Young's definitely going to target him a lot because they only got Xavier Legette, not that good. Adam Thielen's and Trey Talks is a little old. So I think McMillan's going to get most of the targets there. Defensive Rookie of the Year, I have Abdul Carter from the Giants. I think he's just like Micah Parsons, that defensive line with him, with Kayvon Thibodeau, Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence. He's going to have a lot of opportunities to get a lot of sacks. And then Coach of the Year, I have Ben Johnson, new head coach of the Bears. I think they're going to be a lot better than last year. So I think they're going to be not in the playoffs, but maybe in the hunt around 8-9 and 9-8.
So my award picks for this year at MVP, I have Josh Allen winning it again. I think he's still going to be the most prolific quarterback this year, and the Bills will have a good enough record to allow him to win the award. So I think I have Josh Allen. Offensive Player of the Year, you can go with Ja'Marr Chase. I think the Bengals won't have that great of a record, but Chase will put up the stats that give him that award. Defensive Player of the Year, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna say Aiden Hutchinson. I think he's gonna have a good year for the Lions, rack up a lot of sacks, and win that. Offensive Rookie of the Year, I'm gonna say Ashton Jeanty. I think he's just gonna come away with easily the best stats among all the rookies, and won't really be that close. Defensive Rookie Year, I don't feel like this is that strong of a class, but I'm just gonna say Abdul Carter. It's kind of just the default pick. And then Coach of the Year, I'll go with our ex-49er Jim Harbaugh, the LA Chargers now. I think Chargers are gonna have a good year and a solid record, and I think it'll be good enough for him to win Coach of the Year.
So now we're going to move on to our record predictions for each NFL team. We're going to first start with the NFC West. So what do you think the record will be for our rivals, the Seattle Seahawks, this year?
Yeah, I think the Seahawks are going to have a decent team, but not too great of a record. I'm going to say 8-9.
I would agree. 8-9 is also mine. I think Sam Darnold, going from Geno Smith to Sam Darnold, is just going from mid to mid. It's not really. Yeah, he put up good numbers last year, but it's still Sam Darnold. I don't believe in him at all. They got rid of DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett. JSN's their number one guy. I think he's going to have a good year, but not as good of a year as I think people will think. So their offense will take a step back. Their defense, I think, will be pretty good this year because they got most of their guys coming back and another year with their head coach. And then moving on to the Rams, I think the Rams are going 10-7. I've always think the Rams are a good team. So
I agree with 10-7. I think that's pretty. I think they'll definitely win more games, but they're not going to be over 10 wins, I'd say.
Yeah. I think Puka and Devontae Adams is going to be a nightmare for the Niners to play two times a year. So I'm not looking forward to
that. Maybe Jimmy G will be playing though.
What's your prediction for the Cardinals?
I guess I don't know if it's really possible for the whole NFC West to win so many games. I think they're going to be decent this year. I don't think they're going to be the best division. Let's say the Cardinals will go 7-10. I think all the NFC West teams will win at least 7 games. But I think the Cardinals will still be in last place this year. So I'd say 7-10.
Yeah, I said I'm a little lower. I'm going to say 6-11. I think Kyler Murray, this might be the year where they're just done with him because he has not really lived up to his potential as the number one pick. So,
yeah,
I think Marvin Harrison will break out, but I think Kyler Murray's not going to be the guy after this season. We're going to go to the NFC East. Let's first start with the defending champions, the Philadelphia Eagles. What's your prediction?
I'm still struggling to think if they're going to be as good of a team as they were last year. I'll say 12-5.
I would agree with 12-5. It's hard to go back to back.
Yeah.
And they're probably going to get a really tough schedule this year. So I think 12-5 is a good prediction. Moving on to the Cowboys, your prediction?
I think their offense will win them some games. I'm not really how good their defense is right now, but I'll say 8-9.
I'm going to say 9-8. I'm going to give them a little bit more credit because, yeah, their offense with Dak healthy is going to be really good. Their running backs are a bit of questionable, but I think Dak is going to put up really big numbers this year with CeeDee Lamb, with George Pickens. So the defense is just still a big question. Even, Micah Parsons could not even be on the team when the season starts, so we'll see what happens with that. What about the Commanders? What do you think about the Commanders this year?
I don't think they're going to be as good as they were last year, at least record-wise. I don't think they're going to make it to the NFC Championship game. I'm going to have them going 10-7.
I think 10-7 is a good estimate. I just hope, I don't know, Jaden Daniels could have that sophomore slump that CJ Stroud had. Because the whole, like, Terry McLaurin doesn't have his number one weapon. Who knows when he's going to come back? I know they got Debo. Debo's a little washed, so unfortunately.
Prime. Yeah.
49ers legend. That 2021 season was one of my favorite seasons I've ever watched.
Special, man. One Jaquiski Tart interception away from going to the Super Bowl again.
We were one Jimmy G away from going to the Super Bowl. One Jimmy G interception. I mean, I know Jimmy G. he was injured, right? I don't think he like tore like some ligament in his thumb.
Really? Well, that's hard to tell. Hard to tell if that's the reason why, or it's just him.
Jimmy G injured and Jimmy G healthy are basically the same person. Then last we have the New York Giants. My prediction for the Giants, I think either 5-12 or 6-11. I'm going to say 6-11. They got Russell Wilson. Neighbors will be back. I think their defense will definitely be really good with Abdul Carter. That defensive line is really good. So I think they're going to, of course, not win a lot, but I think 6-11 is a reasonable estimate.
Yeah, I think they're gonna snake one more win in and go 7-10. I think they're definitely gonna be improving a lot with better quarterback play, and I think their defense will be getting better too. So I think they'll definitely win a few more games and get to at least 7 wins.
Moving on to the NFC South, I want to start with the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are always, I think, the NFC South in general is a hard division to predict because it's always so close every year. I think
they're all mid.
Because they're all mid. Exactly. So these records are going to be all very close. So with the Buccaneers, I'm going to say 9-8. I feel like that's the record every year.
I like the Bucs. I like Baker Mayfield. I like Mike Evans. Yeah, they always have a good offense. They picked up Egbuka, right?
Emeka Egbuka, yeah. First round pick from Ohio State. He's really good.
Yeah, I think he's going to help a lot with Godwin kind of injured. So I like them. I don't think they're an 11-win team. I think they're a 10-win team, so I'd say 10-7.
Yeah, that's reasonable. I think Emeka Egbuka is a dark horse offensive rookie of the year candidate because he's going to be the wide receiver 2 on week 1 behind Mike Evans, and Baker Mayfield is a good quarterback, throws the ball a lot, so he's going to get a lot of targets. So
yeah,
he's going to have a big year.
That's a good person to put a bet down on to win offensive rookie of the year because his odds are probably not that high right now, but you could get a lot of targets in that offense. So.
Yeah. Watch out for the F-Town betting. We're going to be placing some bets later this year.
The F-Town will only be profiting money. We promise that. Do not worry.
Okay, next we have the Falcons. I'm a little higher on the Falcons than the Bucs. I have them going 10-7.
Yeah, I like Penix. I think he's a good QB. They got good weapons on that team. I'm not too sure about their defense right now. I'm gonna put them at. I think they'll crack over 500 and go 9-8.
I think the Falcons and Bucs are like interchangeable.
Yeah,
but I think Penix will. Their offense is going to be scary. You got Penix, Bijan, Drake London, Kyle Pitts. Is this the year? Who knows?
It is, man. It is. The F-Town Pod said it is.
Yes,
so it is.
He is our 5th ranked fantasy tight end this year, so we are big believers in Kyle Pitts.
That's right. That prediction was statistically backed up.
Yes.
By our data algorithms. And,
yes. By Skunda Bashishta's
yes.
fantasy player algorithm, which you should check out on our website, his fantasy analyzer. Next in the NFC South, we have the Panthers. I think the Panthers, a little bit of a sleeper team. Not even that sleeper, but they're going to be a lot better than last year. I think 7-10 is my prediction because another year with Bryce Young getting better. They got Ted McMillan to help on the offense. So their offensive line is still pretty good. Chuba Hubbard coming back. Defensive wise, not sure. They got J.C. Horn as a good corner, but I think 7-10 is my prediction.
Yeah, I think I agree with 7-10. Yeah, I'm a believer in Bryce Young. For some reason, I like to root for quarterbacks that are like I get hated on, or like that were like top draft picks, but didn't pan out so well at the start of their career. So I kind of like to root for guys like that, and I think they're going to be improving a lot this year. So I'd say 7-10 is a good mark for them.
Yep. Lastly, we have the Saints. What is your prediction for the Saints?
I think the Saints will be giving 2 wins to each of their teams in the division. I'd say 3-14.
3-14. I think that's a little bit generous. I have them going 2-15. They're just terrible. They're not. I don't think Spencer Rattler can win them more than 2 games, or whoever their quarterback is. He's not good at all.
I mean, it depends on what their schedule's looking like. If they play any like other, bottom tier teams, maybe they could pull out a couple wins.
Yeah,
magically, but yeah, it's just not much room for them there.
No. When your best defensive player is Chase Young, you're just destined for a 2-15 team.
Forgot about that guy.
Yeah, very forgettable Niners tenor. When that trade happened, I was so excited, but just didn't really live up to the hype. Okay. So lastly, we're going to go to the NFC North. I'm going to start with the Lions. I think the Lions are going to go 12-5.
Yeah, I'll agree with 12-5. Like, I feel like lots of people like started rooting for the Lions, like just because like over the last like few years, because the Lions have always been like bad. Like they've always had, never made it far in the playoffs, never been to the Super Bowl. Like I feel like it's some trend to start rooting for the Lions, but honestly, I'm lucky a Lions hater. I can't lie. So I don't know. Like I shouldn't let that affect my record prediction. But
no, let's. I think you should be biased.
I'll say 12-5. They'll still be good. I don't believe they're gonna make it. I think they'll still get knocked out in the divisional game, but yeah, they'll still have a good enough record to make the playoffs.
I think losing both their coordinators, Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn,
yeah,
those are 2 big pieces that really helped them become so good. So I think losing those guys will be a big loss. But their offense will still be good, defense will still be good. They do have former Niner DJ Reed, which I'm a big fan of. So he's going to be a good player. Moving on to the Vikings. The Vikings are a hard team to predict because JJ McCarthy, I'm just not sure about. But I'm going to say they went like 12-5 or 13-4 last year, right? They were pretty high up last year.
Yeah.
So I'm going to I think they're going to go down a little bit. I'm going to say 9-8.
Yeah, I'll say 9-8 too. They're definitely not going to be close to where they were last year. They still got the good defense, which will win them games for sure. But yeah, I'm not too more of a I'll believe it when I see it type of thing with JJ McCarthy. So yeah, just don't. They could have Jefferson. I'm sure will have his offensive production, but I don't think that's going to translate to them winning a lot of games.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of JJ McCarthy. Yeah, he's mobile. He just screams, again, game manager. I don't know. I just don't believe it. And his rookie season, like I'm not going to expect him to just come out passing for 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns. It's going to have a lot of learning curves for sure.
Yeah, I think Jordan Mason will help him a lot. running back. I think I'm a big believer in former
Yes.
Niner Jordan Mason, so I think
Yeah.
if he stays healthy, I think it'll be a big help to them in their running game.
It's a little bit of a bold prediction, but I think Jordan Mason will be the starting running back by like 2/3 of the end of the season. I think Aaron
I
Jones
can
is
see it.
getting a little up there. It's a little old. I think Jordan Mason's right now. When he got the ball last year, he was really, really good. And all of a sudden, Kyle Shanahan just didn't give him the ball. So I think he's really going to prove that he's a top running back.
Yeah. Wait, didn't he fumble it in the game we went to last year? Or was that someone else?
That game was terrible last year. I don't remember. There's a lot of things
The
that
Cardinals
happened.
game?
Yeah.
The Cardinals game? That's where he fumbled it or something.
He did fumble.
Yeah. All right, never mind. I'm not so hot.
This game was in Santa Clara. It was like 100 degrees. It was really hot. People were not even sitting in their seats. They were just sitting like in the concession stands. This game, Jake Moody tried to make a tackle, sprained his ankle.
I remember the game paused for like there were like 3 injuries in the first half, and like we were just sitting there for like 30 minutes, like just dying. Like on timeouts. It was rough. I mean, yeah, the hottest game ever at Levi Stadium. So we made history.
Knowing our luck. Yeah. Knowing our luck this year, we're gonna go to another game. It's gonna be like the hottest game, or just pouring rain or something bad's gonna happen.
And they will lose.
Of course, as usual.
Yes.
Can't be a Niners season without a weird game happening. Moving on to the Packers. I think the Packers, people have them making it out of the NFC and going to the Super Bowl. That's a little bit too high, but I think they're going to go 10-7.
Yeah, I'm not too high on the Packers. I'll say 10-7 is a good mark for them. I mean, Jordan Love, like, I think he still has to improve a little more. I can see them making a wild card spot, kind of like they have done, but just, getting eliminated in the wild card game.
Yeah, when Jordan Love got that big contract, I thought that's a little overpaid. He had one good season. Yeah, he was good. I'm just not a big fan of him. I think he's overrated. The last team in the NFC North, we have the Chicago Bears with a new coach, Ben Johnson. I'm a little higher on the Bears. I think they're going to go 9-8 to 8-9.
I'm not sure how much their defense or offensive line improved, because I feel like the offensive line, like regardless of who your coach is, I feel like that was the main concern for them. I'm personally going to put them at 7-10. I don't think they're going to win enough games to be above 500, and I think with their tough division, they're still only going to win 7 games.
Yeah. I just think they did get some new offensive linemen. Joe Thuney from the Chargers, Jonah Jackson from the Rams. Those are, not sure how. I know Joe Thuney's good. Jonah Jackson, not sure, but they're going to be a lot better than last year and years previously. But I'm banking on like a big breakout from Rome Odunze. I think he's going to have a good year this year.
Yeah.
And they got a good rookie. Colston Leveling's a good rookie tight end. He's going to have. They got a lot of good weapons. They got DJ Moore, Swift. I know you're not high on, but
I think he could be good. I like
could be.
I'm not high on fantasy.
Yeah.
Like maybe a new coach could change that, or a new offensive line could change that. I think he still could be a good player.
Okay, now we're going to switch to the AFC. We're going to start with the AFC West. The Chiefs. What is your prediction?
Put them at 14-3. I think, they just win games. They might not win by the biggest margins, but they always find a way to win games under Mahomes and Andy Reid. So I think, their defense, I think, is still pretty good. So I think they'll just win a lot of games again and probably clinch that number 1 seed.
I don't know if this is my Niner bias as a Chiefs hater. It's my record. I have them going 12-5. It's not that bad, but
Yeah.
I think there's gonna be more games this year where they don't just sneak by. Their offense is not as good as it's been in the past. Kelsey's getting older. Pacheco is not. I don't know what happened to Pacheco. But I think Rashi Rice, who knows what's going to happen with that whole suspension. So if he is suspended for a long time, they kind of have the same offense as last year, which was not the best. So I think, like you said, their defense will carry most of the season for them. Go on to Chargers, who Jim Harbaugh is your coach of the year prediction. So what do you think the record's going to be?
Can he be a coach of the year and win only 11 games?
Yeah,
like
definitely.
I don't know if that's a thing, but
yeah,
I'll say 11-6.
11-6. Yeah, I'm in the same range. I said 10-7. Their offense is going to be really good. I think just Herbert, McConkey, Hampton, Keenan Allen coming back. Yeah, he's old, but I think he still has that chemistry with Herbert.
Still, yeah.
Their defense is the only question mark. The secondary, especially, they got toasted last year, so we'll see what happens on defense. Next, we have the Denver Broncos. I'm high on the Broncos this year. I have them going 11-6.
Yeah, this is another good division. I like Bo Nix. They obviously got the good defense. They added Evan Ingram. Sutton is always solid. Maybe Marvin Mims could have a breakout year too.
That's a good breakout player.
I like J.K. Dobbins. And of course, got rookie R.J. Harvey. See, I put him at 11-6, but I already put the other teams up there too. So I just don't even know if that's even possible. But I suppose I'll put him at 10-7.
10-7. Okay. Yeah, I think their defense, especially, they signed Dre Greenlaw, Talanoa Hufanga, ex-Niners.
That's right.
I really wish we kept Dre Greenlaw. That one hurt.
Yeah.
Hufanga too. He was first team All Pro a couple of years ago. He's still a good player. Just was injured in the later seasons with the Niners. Last, we have the Las Vegas Raiders. What is your prediction for them?
Yeah, I kind of like them too this year. Man, like I put the whole division above it with a winning record. Is that even possible?
I don't know about winning record. I'm still a little high.
Yeah, I guess I'll go 8-9.
8-9. Yeah, I said 7-10. I know Pete Carroll. He's a good coach. He's definitely an upgrade from what they had previously. What's that guy's name they had last year? I forgot his name.
Pierce?
Yeah, Antonio Pierce. He was terrible. So anything is an upgrade over him. I think Max Crosby's going to have a big year. It's my defensive player of the year. Brock Bowers is going to continue to be Brock Bowers. Ashton Jeanty is going to have a monster year. Geno Smith. Their offense will be good. Just their defense, which has always been a little bit shaky. So,
yeah, their secondary is probably questionable.
Okay, going to the AFC East, let's start with the Buffalo Bills. I have the Bills. Is this the year for the Bills? I'm not sure, but I think they're going 13-4.
Yeah, I'll agree with 13-4. Will they make a run to the Super Bowl? I don't know.
Probably not.
It's hard to get out of that AFC, but I think, they'll definitely win a lot of games. So 13-4 sounds about right.
Yeah, just only question marks are their receivers. I feel like every year their receivers just do not perform well. They got Shakir, Keon Coleman, Josh Palmer, all like mid, I think.
Yeah, I don't understand how they have such good offensive production without really like passing the ball a lot, because I feel like none of those receivers ever like rack up a lot of fantasy points. So I'm just like confused how like this. I don't get it.
Let's move on to the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins are going to have a really bad year this year. So I think they're going to go 5-12 to 6-11. Just completely fall off. This might be Mike McDaniel's last year.
Yeah, I agree. 6-11. Maybe Tyreek Hill might be okay this year. Maybe not have the worst as bad of his fantasy year as he did last year, but winning games wise, I don't think they're gonna win that many. So 6 wins maybe.
Yeah, they're just a mess. Their offense will still be good. Achane, Waddle. I think their defense is just, they have good players on paper, but they just never can put it together. And I think Mike McDaniel's just not fit to be a head coach. Definitely should come back to the Niners as an offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
They still got a place for him.
One of those coaches where it's just better as a coordinator.
Yeah. Imagine we bring him and Saleh back. Dangerous.
Just need the roster though.
Yeah. Need to stay healthy. Okay, the Jets. What's your prediction for the Jets?
I think the Jets are going to pick up 7 wins this year. They're gonna look a little better. I'm not like a hater of Justin Fields, but I don't really think he's that great. But I think he'll be okay.
Yeah. Also not a big fan of Justin Fields. He's pure running, can't really pass. But I think 7-10. I'm gonna give him one less one. I'm gonna say 6-11, but around that range. The defense will still be good with Sauce.
Yeah.
The secondary, Quentin Williams on the defensive line. New coach too. They got Aaron Glenn, so he'll fix some things up. But I don't know. Justin Fields, Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall. It's like not the best offense, especially Breece Hall. There's been a lot of reports about him possibly going into committee, getting Braylon Allen more snaps. So we'll see what happens with that. I'm a little high. I'm a big Patriots believer, Drake May believer. I'm gonna say they go 8-9.
Yeah. I just drafted Drake May, and I wanted him, and I was able to wait till round 12 or whatever to get him. But so I like them. I think their defense is solid, and their offense is gonna be improving. I don't know if I can get to 8 wins. Kind of stuck between 7 or 8 wins for them. I'll round up and say 8 wins.
Yeah. I think Drake May is going to have a breakout year this year. They got Trayvon Henderson, who we forgot to mention earlier, but he's going to be, I think, their RB1.
Yeah.
Got Stephon Diggs, and he's a little old coming off injury, but he'll still be a good player. Go to the AFC North. Let's start with the Ravens.
I think Lamar Jackson will put up big numbers again, as he kind of always does. Do I think they're going to go far in the playoffs? I don't. It's like the Bills. I feel like they always get stuck. But I'll say 12-5.
12-5. Wow. I said 14-3.
14-3. Okay.
I think this. Yeah. Well, are they going to win the Super Bowl? Maybe, but they're a good regular season team. Lamar's going to put up his typical MVP numbers. Derrick Henry, I still think will put up good numbers, even though he's a little old. But I'm still a big believer in Derrick Henry. Defense, they got Jair Alexander. That's a big pickup. Him and Marlon Humphrey as their starting corners. That's really good. Next team is the Bengals. I want to say 11-6, but I'm going to say 10-7. 10, I think it might be too generous considering how bad their defense is, but I think they're going to go 10-7.
Yeah, you just have to think how many shootout games can Burrow win for them. I'll say 10-7. Yeah, they're definitely going to win more games than they lose, but it's not going to be much. I don't know. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard for me to say they're going to get double-digit wins, but I'll say 10.
We're going to move on to the Pittsburgh Steelers now. Every year they're locked into 9-8 or 8-9. I'm going to take 8-9.
Isn't Mike Tomlin got that streak of winning seasons, right?
Yeah, I think this is the year where he doesn't get it. There's no way they win 9 games.
I mean, they got Rodgers at quarterback, DK Metcalf. Who's their running backs?
Jalen Warren. They drafted that guy Caleb Johnson's a rookie.
That's right. That's right. I forgot about him. Yeah, defense. I don't know. The defense is always solid. I think they're gonna go 9-8. I think 9-8 again. Just extend the winning streak. Yeah.
Their offense, they got John Smith. They got him and Pat Fryermuth. Not sure why they have two good tight ends. Their defense is good, but I think they got TJ Watt. They did trade Minka Fitzpatrick for Jalen Ramsey.
Oh, that's right.
So Jalen
Oh,
Ramsey.
they got Jalen Ramsey?
Yeah, they got Jalen Ramsey.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. They got Darius Slay. He's too old, I think. He's burnt toast.
That's Devo's son right there.
Oh, yeah. They still got TJ Watt, so the defense will be good. I think Rogers it's his last year. I don't think he has it in him. Which is not good considering I drafted DK Metcalf, but just gotta pray,
Yeah,
just throws the ball every play.
yeah, I wouldn't say that he like won't have any like production. I think he still could put out some stats, but whether those stats translates to wins, I don't know. But I think DK Metcalf could still have a solid season.
Yeah, fantasy wise, I want him to get 150 plus targets because I need a win. And our last team is the Cleveland Browns. What's your prediction?
Man, this prediction is harder than, or this prediction is easier than predicting who's going to be their quarterback at the end of the season. Um, I don't know, 5-12.
5-12.
I feel like whoever their quarterback is at the start, which I guess is Flacco, is going to inevitably change by the end of the season. So it's just like that means they're just not going to win games. So I'd say 5 wins.
I said 4-13. I think. Who do you think will be the starter by the end of the season?
I'll say Shador.
Shador.
Because I feel like Joe Flacco is going to start the season. Joe Flacco's just inevitably not going to win games, and he might like put up stats because he always does that. But then they'll make a switch where that switches to Dylan Gabriel. But I feel like eventually it'll land on Shador unless they just only do like one quarterback change.
Yeah. Okay, moving to our last division, we have the AFC South. I'm going to start with the Texans. I think the Texans are going to go 11-6.
Yeah. I'm not too high on the Texans. I'm not too high on Stroud. Never been a big fan of him, but someone's got to win that division. I'll say they get 10 wins and go 10-7.
Yeah, I think 11-6 because I think last year was kind of a down year. I think they're going to go back to how they were. I think CJ Stroud's going to bounce back. Nico Collins, I think, will have a big year. Definitely not because I drafted him in fantasy, but I think Nico Collins is a good player. It's going to have, I think, it's going to have like 1,300 yards and like 10 plus touchdowns.
Yeah.
Only question is Joe Mixon's not going to be healthy. Running backs, they got Nick Chubb, Woody Marks, rookie running back from I don't even know which school, but
USC.
USC, yeah. So I guess it's Woody Marks season. Next team we have the Colts, who recently named Daniel Jones as a starter. I had them going 6-11, but rethinking now, they're going to go like 4-13.
6-11. I don't know what made you think that.
I don't
originally.
know. I made that my prediction before Anthony Richardson, but I'm going to say 4-13.
I'm going to do you one less and say 3-14.
3-14. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Michael Pittman not going to get it done for them.
Their only good player, I think, is Jonathan Taylor, even though I'm not a big fan of Taylor either. Gets injured a lot, but I do like Tyler Warren. It could be this year's Brock Bowers. Jaguars. I think the Jaguars go 7-10 to 8-9. One of those two.
Yeah, I kind of like. I'm kind of higher on them this season.
Really?
I think Trevor Lawrence is going to bounce back. And they got the new coach, right?
Yeah, Liam Cohen.
Yeah, I think they're going 9-8.
Nine
I
and
like.
eight.
I think they could slip into the play. Well, I don't know if 9-8 will be enough, but um, I like them. I think their running back room will maybe by committee will be okay. Um, I might have drafted Brian Thomas Jr., so maybe I'm a little high on him,
Oh,
but
okay.
I think their connection with him and Lawrence, I think that'll be nice again. He could put up some big numbers. Um, I'm not too really sure about their defense. Probably not very good, so I might hold them back a little bit. But I think their offense is going to be a lot better this year.
Yeah. I think defense, they do have former Niner Eric Armstead, Sacramento native.
Oh, he's from. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he's from Sac. I don't know. I think he had his good years on the Niners, but I think you just don't notice him a lot during the game.
Yeah, he doesn't put up like big stats. He's always just been
No.
kind of just average.
Yeah.
Okay, solid.
But I do think Travis Hunter will have, not sure how much of it is playing corner or receiver. I originally thought it's going to be more corner, but now I'm seeing it's going to be more receiver. So interested to see how he does.
Yeah, I think no matter what, he'll have an impact on the game. Um, I think, yeah, he'll play both positions, but he'll definitely have more of an impact on one of them positions or one of the sides of the ball. So, but I think like no matter what, he's not going to hurt the team. He'll definitely be a positive impact.
And our last team is the Tennessee Texans with number one pick Cam Ward. I'm leaning 5-12.
Yeah, fine. I guess they'll win 5 games.
You guess? You're gonna say like two games or 3 games?
Yeah, I suppose they'll win 5.
I think Cam Ward, is he a good quarterback? Maybe, we don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
He is the number one pick. He did say that the Titans had. I don't know if you saw the clip, but he said the Titans have a top 5 receiving room in the NFL.
Man, I gotta drug test him.
And if you don't know, the receiving room is Calvin Ridley, Van Jefferson, and Tyler Lockett.
They got Tyler Lockett, man. Old and reliable. They're good.
Old reliable.
Yeah, top 5. Never mind.
Okay, now we're going to get into our San Francisco 49er record predictions. Let's start with week 1 in Seattle playing the Seahawks. I'm a bit apprehensive about this game. I think we're going to lose, unfortunately. It'll be a close game. I'm going to say 26-20 Seattle.
Yeah, I think number one, I think it's gonna be a great game.
Yeah.
Hopefully that rivalry can kind of renew itself this season. I think I see the Niners coming into Seattle and pulling out a win. It'll be a close one. I'm gonna say 31-28.
High scoring. I don't know. I think just to begin the season, our offense is already injured we have no receivers, so it'll be a tough game, I think. But week 2 we play the Saints, so if we don't win by 20 plus points, I think we're in danger. But I'm going to say Niners win 34-17.
Yeah, I think the Niners will come into New Orleans and handle business, getting a win. I'd say 38-17.
Yeah. Week 3 is our home opener against the Arizona Cardinals. I think we're going to win this game. I'm going to say 27-23. Bit of a close game.
Yeah, I'd say no fooling around like last year in 100-degree weather.
No.
I think the 49ers will take care of business in their first home opener against the Cardinals. I'm going to say 21-17.
Next game, we have Jacksonville coming to Santa Clara. I think they're going to win that game too. I'm going to say 30 to 24.
I'm gonna say I think it's their first loss of the season. I believe. I think they'll lose to Jacksonville. It'll be a close one. It'll be 24-21.
Next game, the Niners take on the Rams. I think we're going to lose. Probably come down to a Jake Moody field goal, knowing how the game flow will go. So I'm going to say Rams win 27 to 25. Jake Moody misses a game-winning field.
Yeah, I'll say they lose. I say it goes into overtime.
Oh.
And they lose. I'll say 34 to 28.
Next game against the Bucks in Tampa. Did they win? Do they lose 2 straight games?
You know how it goes sometimes.
I think they do.
Several games
against the Bucks. We usually beat the Bucks.
Yeah,
we do have their number. Actually, no. I'm gonna say that we won. I think a low-scoring game, like 21 to 20. I think it's a nail-biting game by 1 point.
Yeah, kind of like last year. Yeah, I think after the loss to the Rams, they're gonna come back and dominate against the Bucks. I have them winning 41 to 41 to let's say 14.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, good old-fashioned blowout.
So Purdy has like a 4-touchdown game.
Yep. Or McCaffrey, it's a 4-touchdown game.
Or Brian Robinson, who knows?
Or Brian Robinson, that's right.
Next game against another NFC South team at home on Sunday night against the Falcons. I think we're going to win that game. Under the bright lights in Santa Clara, I think that's a good game. I think it'll be a high-scoring, 2 good offenses. I'm going to say 40 to 35.
Yeah, 49ers have been pretty good on Sunday night. Versus the Falcons, I think it'll be a close one. I think the Falcons will be decent. I'll say they win 27 to 24
against the Texans. I'm not really too sure about this game. I'm gonna say 28 to 24.
Yeah, I'm right around the same lines. I'm gonna say 28 to 23.
Yeah. Okay, against the Giants. I sure hope we win this game, so I'm gonna say a win. I'm gonna say we have another high-scoring game, like 31 to 17.
Yeah, I think the Niners will take care of business, but it'll be more of a sloppy game. I'm gonna say they win 13 to 7.
13 to 7. Wow.
13 to 7. Gotta have one low-scoring game in there.
Yeah. Facing the Rams at home, I'm just gonna put a loss. I think we lose the series to the Rams. I think this will be one of the low-scoring games, kind of like last year. I'm gonna say 13 to 9.
I think they'll split the season with the Rams. I think they'll pull out a win here. It's gonna be a close one. I'll say 21 to 20.
Next game against the Cardinals. I said that they'd beat them in the first game, so I think they're going to split it with the Cardinals. So I'm going to put another loss. They're going to lose 2 in a row after winning 4 in a row. I think this game is just going to be one of their just don't bring it that day. So I'm going to say 33 to 18.
Yeah, I'll say they lose to the Cardinals in this one. Maybe just a sloppy game after they've gotten a few wins. I'll say 23-17.
I think these next 4 games are a bit of an easier schedule, but knowing them, they're going to lose 2 of them. So I think they're going to lose to the Panthers because coming off 2 tough divisional games, I think they're just going to be a little fatigued. But I think it'll be a close game, like 27-23.
Yeah, I can see them. I think versus the Panthers though, I have them winning. I'm gonna say like 27-17. I think they're a good matchup against the Panthers. I think they'll easily take care of them.
Against the Browns, have a W, hopefully. I think we just destroy them coming off a 3-game losing streak. I'm going to say 40-16.
Yeah, I'm going to call back from a couple years. I'm going to say they lose this game off a Jake Moody game-winning miss.
God.
I'm going to say 20-19.
That game was terrible.
Starter slid down. Yeah.
We lost to PJ Walker. He was the starting quarterback that day.
Shedeur Sanders gonna come take us, yeah.
Okay, against the Titans, next game I have a W. I think we continue our high scoring game against some bad teams. I'm gonna say 38-21.
I think somehow they're gonna slide one and lose to the Titans. Lose back-to-back games against teams they really shouldn't lose against. I got them losing 16-13 in this one.
Ugly.
Yeah.
Ugly. Colts, I think this is the game where they just lose to a really bad team. If this is Anthony Richardson, if this is Daniel Jones, who knows, but I think we're going to lose to the Colts. I think it'll be a close game, 22-19.
Yeah, I think after having losing a couple games, I think they're going to obliterate the Colts. Let's go 38-18.
Next game against the Bears, I'm going to have another loss. I think the Bears are going to put up a good fight. I think they're going to lose pretty bad. I'm going to say like 33-17.
I think they're a good matchup against the Bears, and I see them winning by. I'm winning by a touchdown. I'll say 28-21.
All right. So at this point, they are 9-7. Last game against the Seahawks. They need to win the game to make the playoffs. At home versus Seattle. I'm going to have them winning. Sneak into the playoffs, beating their rivals in a classic 2019 game that goes to overtime. I'm going to say 30-27.
Yeah, I think I'm going to say they sweep the season against the Seahawks. Definitely same thing. They win this game in a thriller. I'm going to say 34-31. So this year I have the 49ers going 12-5, losing 5 games, but picking up 12 wins with this easy schedule that they have. I think there's going to be a lot of games. I think they will lose a couple to teams that they shouldn't lose to, games that they're really favored in. I think they will slide a couple losses there, but for the most part, with them running through the AFC South and the NFC South, I think those are teams that they will easily beat and be able to pick up a lot of wins there.
I have them going 10-7. I just think they're going to lose majority of their divisional games. I have them going only winning 2 divisional games, which I think that's where they struggle the most. Then of course they're going to lose to those random games that you never expect. So
yeah, no, I'd say that's definitely fair. I like to say my prediction is solely based on the Niners being relatively healthy. If they start getting injured like they are right now, and it happens even more, then all right, yeah, they might slide under 10 games. But I think I see a lot of sites have them favored to win the division. And I don't think that's like a wild take because, I think the Rams will still be good. But, the Niners, I wouldn't say the Rams have always had the Niners number. Like, they beat them last year, but those were close games and games that really they should have won in those games. So if they can just pick up if they can really just improve on finishing games and winning them, and when they have the lead, keep that lead. If they can improve on that, then I think they can beat the Rams, maybe even twice.
It's a fair assessment. I'm just very not optimistic about them because I just have these high expectations every year and they just disappoint. So I'm just gonna lower my expectations for this year. I'll be happier if they surprise me instead of me being disappointed like the last couple of years.
That's fair. Yeah, I kind of like when people don't put high expectations on them because then you don't get as much hate when we don't perform that well. But I don't know. You can't. Niners are always in the spotlight, so I think they still have a good season this year. Playoffs, I don't know. I'm not too sure if they can make a run as like a wild card spot or something like that. But it's definitely possible. They could definitely, they don't really play any good teams this year, honestly, like no contenders this year. So that could be tough when they get to the playoffs. But I don't see anything, it could be a 2021 type run where they win 2 games and make it to the NFC Championship. So.
Yeah, I was going to say that too. I really want those like underdog out of the wild card beating the higher seed. I really want that type of a season since I feel like that's when we perform at our best and we're, faced against a bigger challenge.
So for my Super Bowl prediction this year, I'm going to say the Buffalo Bills and the Philadelphia Eagles meet in the Super Bowl. And I think the Bills are going to pull out a win in the Super Bowl. Josh Allen gets his first Super Bowl. Practically has one of the greatest years of mankind, pretty much. So yeah,
it's a good prediction. I also have the Eagles making it out of the NFC, but I have the Ravens making it. Lamar finally gets past the playoff hump, and I have the Ravens winning the Super Bowl. Lamar cements himself as one of the best quarterbacks of all time, having 2 MVPs in a Super Bowl under his belt. So I think this is finally the year where the Ravens do it. That wraps up our NFL episode. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next episode. Thank you.